What's going on, guys? It's your favorite hedgehog, and today I'm going to talk about advice for people that want to go to college. But before I talk about that, I just want to give you guys a big thank you, because I actually gained 20 subscribers in 2 days, and that might not seem like a big number to some people, but to me that means a lot. That's good. I've never gained that much on this channel or any previous channels that I've ever had, so yeah, that's great. Keep subscribing, keep watching, and I'll keep making this stuff because I'm actually having a lot of fun doing this. Much more fun than I expected to have, so yeah. Alright, let's get into advice for college. I'm not really sure about American, education system because I live in the UK, so I'm mainly going to be focusing on that. But I guess you can kind of translate it to American education as well. Most of these tips are a bit generic. So I've been going to the same college for like 7 years because secondary school and college is kind of like tied in at this place. So that's like a third of my life I've spent in the same place, and I'm just, I'm really close to finishing now. I've got like 3 or 4 months, and I can't wait. I'm gonna be happy, I'm not gonna lie. Can't wait to get out of this place. But I thought, I'm gonna give you guys some tips and some advice if you're maybe just about to get into college, what you should expect and what you should prepare for. So the first thing I want to say is you should prepare for the worst. And that might sound like a bad thing, but really it's not. Most people that go to college, it's not an amazing experience for them. I'm willing to bet that about 80% of the people don't really like college, and like, who can blame them? It's a bunch of work. Yeah, there's a social aspect, you do talk to people, but I don't think that it makes up for the amount of work and depression and coursework and homework that you're going to be doing, spending, drinking loads of energy drinks and coffee, staying up overnight doing work. It's not going to be a nice experience. So what you should do is just prepare for the worst case scenario, so that if it happens, at least you're prepared for it. And if it doesn't happen, then hey, it's a pleasant surprise. So yeah, that's my first tip. You should also make sure that you choose the right subjects that are right for you. By the time you're like 14 years old, you should kind of have some sort of idea of the career that you want to be doing. So make sure you don't choose any useless subjects for your career path just because they're easy, or because, I don't know, your friends are doing it. That's not a good enough reason to choose a subject because your friends are doing it. Unless there is absolutely nothing useful that you can pick, then yeah, fair enough. Like with me, I had an option between media and sociology, and I wanna be in the IT industry at some point in my life. I wanna be in a gaming industry, and I thought media was a lot more useful, even though it's not like a crucial subject for the course or the life that I'm gonna be living. But it's much better than sociology, so that's the one I chose. Next tip: get the work done. And it's kind of useless me telling you this because you probably won't get the work done, and I've been told and I didn't get the work done. I guess that's just part of growing up. But if you get the work done on time, life will be so much easier for you. And you don't want to get on a teacher's bad side, because then it's kind of just a cycle of hatefulness and anger and bad things that are going to happen to you. You're going to have loads of detentions, you're going to have to stay back after college, finishing your work, and that's a stupid thing in itself, staying back to finish work when you could be finishing that work at home. So you don't want to be there. Make sure you get the work done. I think I've done a pretty good job over the years of getting most of my work done, even though I'm pretty damn behind with my work right now. But overall, I think I've done a half decent job. And also make sure it's your best work, because you'll build up a reputation with your teachers, and if early on you give them a good impression that you always do your best and you give the work on, like later on they'll be a bit more lenient. Whereas if in the beginning you're a lazy bugger and you don't do any work, then they're going to be a lot harder on you, and it's going to be harder for you to kind of change that image that's implanted in their head. So the next thing is be who you want to be. College, or whatever the American equivalent is, it's a chance for you to kind of change your identity a bit. Maybe you didn't like who you were throughout secondary school. Maybe you were bullied. Maybe you were shy. You didn't talk to people. Here is your chance. It's a fresh start. There's a good chance that nobody's going to know who you are, and you're going to be able to present yourself to your friends as you wanna. It's going to be a fresh start. So make sure you do it wisely. Now, I'm not saying that if you're like a nerdy kid, you should try and be a gangster and try and like hit on all the girls and beat everyone up, because that probably won't work, because you've been a nerd for a reason, right? You're not into fighting and you're not very, I don't know, outgoing, but just be friendly, you know? It's always good to have more friends than it is to have fewer friends, so be nice. And this tip, it might seem controversial, but trust me on this one. If you're overweight, lose the weight. Okay, just lose the weight. And I don't mean that in a hateful way, but unfortunately, college isn't the nicest place in the world. And if you're overweight, unfortunately, you're gonna get picked on. And unless you have like a really bubbly personality, you're really outgoing, making loads of friends, then it's not gonna be a good experience for you, because unfortunately, people that are, you know, a little bit fat, well, not a little bit fat, very fat, they get picked on and they become lonely, which ruins their self-confidence, which just, it's another cycle, you know? It's like you'll eat more and then you'll become even fatter, and then people make more fun of you, and then you'll become even more, you know, antisocial, and then just eat even more, and it's just not good. So lose the weight. I did, and you know, I'm pretty happy that I made that decision. Like, I wasn't huge, but I was a lot bigger than I am now, so I've been through that stage and it was rough, and I'm out of that stage now, so it's all good. What else? Right, excuses. You know that excuses are going to come at some point. You know, you haven't done your work and you need to tell your teacher something, so you don't get in trouble, right? Everyone makes excuses, but make sure that you make good excuses. Don't say your dog ate it, or you left it on the bus, or your little sister chewed it up and threw it in the bin, because that stuff doesn't work. If you want to make good excuses, you're going to have to get creative with it. I've been getting creative with it. You just, like, an example of something that you might want to say is that, let's say there's an essay that's due in, and let's say an excuse would be that the essay was written on an old version of Microsoft Word, and the new school computers can't read the file. There is a decent excuse, right? The teacher will probably understand the situation, even if it's total bullshit, and give you another chance, an extension maybe, and that's going to help you out. And finally, just stay positive. I know I said prepare for the worst, and you should, but stay positive. Don't lose hope. If things are going bad, if you're behind on work, getting bad grades, stay positive. You'll improve. So thanks for listening. That's all my tips on going to college. I'll see you guys later. Peace.